Real Small Engines having the biggest sale of the entire year now through April 16, 2018. The Raptor's $200 off the regular price and has a 1-year residential warranty extension. Also included this sale is 0% for 42.
Welcome to the locker room. We come to you tonight with heavy hearts. David Quinter, we've lost both of our former Friday night scoreboard hosts. Marty Maston was in a car accident, fatal wreck the other night, and man, you talk about somebody that's fixing to talk sports now. Him and old Richards now, they'll have a gathering, won't they?
Yeah, you know, we lose Mike first, and then now we lose Marty. I told some people today that coming here on Friday nights, and me and Marty were doing the Friday night scoreboard run, I probably had more fun doing that than anything, because I could come here and I didn't have to worry about taking my medicine, as you said, because Marty was going to carry the show, because it didn't really matter what Marty had been doing that night, whether it had been on the PA at Coalfield or just waiting to come here at 10 o'clock to come on the show. He knew every score in Roane and Morgan County and around the area, and he could talk about it, and he could talk about the players. He was probably one of the brightest people about sports that I've ever been around. And those 3 or 4 or 5 years that I sat down here on Friday nights with him, I had more fun during that time than I've ever had in my life, because he made it really fun, and he'll be sadly missed.
Well, and you know, the thing about it is Marty was ESPN Sports Center material from a knowledgeable standpoint. I mean,
yeah, he was.
He knew it.
You know,
and there he is, right there.
Yeah, it's just a fine guy, and you know, that's about how he came on Friday nights, usually with a Tennessee hat on, you know. And I'll never forget the first Friday night, maybe not the first one we'd done, but we've been doing it back in the heydays when it was really rolling. I think they just put a new phone system in down here with Comcast. And we had so many phone calls, we melted the system. We couldn't take no more phone calls because we melted the system, Brad. And, you know, to show you how involved he was, we would do the show till 1 or 1:30, and there was a couple times during when they were going to announce TWSW was going to announce a playoff, we would come back here on Saturday morning and give the playoff run. Right. And that's how much he was involved in it, and he'll be.
He almost could have given it to you on Friday night.
He could have. He did. Him and Brad would get together. They'd argue a little bit about it, and more than likely, Marty was usually he was right most of the time. Brad didn't win. He would project it out. Yeah. He'd tell you weeks before, you're going to make the playoffs or you're not. And he knew, and it's another hit we take here. But I know we got to keep on going. But man, you're right. Him and Mike today, wow. That's all I got to say. Wow.
Yeah, he, not so fast, my friend.
Mike would call him and Marty, and what he used to say, look at me, or Mike would say, look at me. I'd always say it back to him, look at me now. Look at me.
When I'm talking to you, look at me.
Yeah, look at me. And
it's just a lot of knowledge. He kept up with all the stuff. A really, really good umpire. When you umpire softball, you probably are going to get 80% of the calls at first base are going to be a bang bang play, and I would dare say he probably got 95% of them right. I mean, he just there's just some guys, just some of us are like that.
He reminds me in a lot of ways of the love for He reminds me in a lot of ways of the love for high school, sort of like E.T. loves Clinton High School and Clinton sports. Yep. And Marty's that type of guy with Cofield. He knew it. He knew it in and out. He knew it forward, back. And a lot of people don't realize Marty was a star basketball player at Cofield.
Well, as I understand it, didn't Brad set the single record and then Marty broke it?
Maybe. I think Marty still holds that.
Marty
record
still
today.
holds it. Marty
Today,
still
he
holds it. But
that record
I
today.
think there's something there that Brad held and Marty surpassed it. But
you know, and here's the funny thing about, I don't know that it's funny. Here just goes to show how intelligent sports wise. You could call and ask him a question, and he might not know it right that second. Before you hung up, he gave you the answer though, because he knew it. He could get it and find it, and he knew how to go get it and find it. He knew where to go get it and find it. But he made coming here on Friday nights probably more fun than just about anybody that I've ever been with, because he made it easy. He made it easy to come in here. He made it easy a couple times. I know he filled in for you. We done a few football games together, and he made it so easy to work with him at doing a calling game. I know we did a couple playoff games, a tape delayed, situation, and he can make that game. He made those games really so easy to work with, and he's going to be sadly missed. I'll say that. We lost a true.
a lot of people.
We lost a true sports person. We lost what we're all about today, high school sports. Marty Maston was a high school sports guy.
You're exactly right.
And he'll be sadly missed, man.
Rest in peace, my friend.
Yes.
We appreciate all the things that you did for BBB Channel 12. We appreciate all the things you've done for the kids in the area, and I know the folks in Cofield are, and I think as you mentioned earlier, 1 year anniversary for Coach Chris, and now you hit this, so that's a double hit.
Just the support, as I told you before the show, opening up, and I went down today to the church there from 12 to 2. I told you when I went in, the parking lot had maybe 3 or 4 cars. When I came out, they were lined up. There wasn't hardly a parking spot anywhere. And it's just, you're talking about Marty Refran. That's where he was coming back from Sunday night. He'd been in Gatlinburg.
Is that right?
Been in Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg 1, calling ball all day. He'd call, I don't know if he was calling baseball. I don't know what he was calling, but he was officiating ball. And he'd been there all day. From what I
Got that
understand.
close to home.
He was just down the highway there, right if you make the red light in Oliver Springs and make the turn going towards Cofield. Might have been on the Anderson County side still. It might not even have been in Morgan County yet. I don't know where the line's at right there. It's really close. But, it's just a sad situation. 44 years old, got a daughter that's 15 years old, and he's going to be missed, man. He's going to be missed. That's all I can say.
Well, rest in peace, our friend. Thanks again for. He maxed out though. He maxed out life now. I mean, he used to work down at Lowe's, and folks down there. It's amazing. It's amazing wherever you went. It's almost like, how about Marty? Tough Marty. I mean, he knew people everywhere.
Yeah, it was my privilege
Everywhere.
and honor to get to work with him and get to, I rode on his coattail. I'll say that. It wasn't me carrying the water. It was him, and it was my privilege and my honor to be sitting in the chair beside him talking Friday night football. So I'm with you. Rest in peace, Ben. My prayers and thoughts are out to his mom and dad and brother Andrew and all his family. And a lot of people don't know this. Marty's kin to Brad.
First cousins, right?
Yeah, they're kin. And my thoughts and prayers are out with Brad, too. I know it's a big loss. So we could reminisce about him all night.
We could, but
Mike Richardson, we did the same thing with him.
The only thing
we lost two. Listen, we lost in those two people right there. There's a lot. Marty and Mike are before me even, really. And then Marty came back with me a little bit there. Got back with me for 3 or 4 years there. But those guys are before me. Yeah. I mean, I remember you and Mike and Marty doing the show on Friday nights here. And so those guys are before me. I mean, and those people, they've set the mark and set it really high.
They did, and we you just don't realize it as the time goes by so quickly. In a football season or baseball season, whatever season flies by, and just about the time you feel comfortable with that sport, it's over. And we've talked about. I mean, we're going to we're going to be doing football here before we know it. Baseball is going to be gone. I mean, you know, we're almost to April.
It's within weeks.
We're almost to April, so you know, you got a month of April, then you got tournaments, and we're right back. You know, we're right back to a spring fling, and baseball and softball are gone. Life is precious, my man. Life is precious, and that's just another example that you know, we have to live life every day, and we have to live it in a way that we're ready when our time comes. And again, prayers are with Marty's family and his daughter, and we hope the best for them and to Brad as well. Let's take a break. We'll come back right after this.
Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood is your gift destination. Shop the new plush selection for that special someone. We have Bath & Body Works popular fragrances and custom gift baskets too. Live and Let Live has a wide selection of gift and home decor for any occasion, from yard flags to selected jewelry, plus much more. We have Big Orange giftware always available year-round. And don't forget to enjoy a soda fountain treat while you shop. Live and Let Live Drugstore, Gift Shop, and Soda Fountain in downtown Rockwood.
All right, crew, let's get started. Sure.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
In today's world, you don't stay in business long without providing exceptional customer service. The Duff family has been providing exceptional customer service for over 44 years. Our customers rate us highly, as shown by the fact we're the only dealer in Tennessee to have earned the Subaru Stellar Care Award for customer satisfaction 6 years in a row. Check our online reviews or ask your friends. They'll tell you to come to Earl Duff Subaru, where buying is a pleasure.
During the Subaru A Lot to Love event, choose 0% financing on all new 18 Outback models at Earl Duff Subaru in Harriman.
Mulch & More in Midtown is your landscaping headquarters. Mulch & More offers mulch, the best topsoil in the area, all types of gravel, sand, pea gravel, either loose or in bags, creek rock, river rock, field stone, mountain mist stone, railroad cross ties, straw bales, fence posts, farm gates, and much more. Mulch & More offers backhoe and dump truck service. And Mulch & More can also demolish a house or building on your property, and they'll haul it off for you. Give Gary a call today at 865-740-5229 for Mulch & More in Midtown.
I'm Scott Burton, and I'm running for Ranger County Trustee. When it comes to our tax dollars, we need to trust the person managing those dollars. As Clinton's mayor, I've led with conservative fiscal principles. In 7 years, we've cut our debt from over $13 million down to $7 million, with a clear path to being debt-free in less than 8 years. I've proven I treat tax dollars like I would my own. Please vote for me, Scott Burton, in the Republican primary on May 1st.
Roan Metals Group has been serving East Tennessee for decades. Locally owned and operated with convenient hours of operation. Roan Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing's too big or too small. Still have that clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Roan Metals Group are specialists in industrial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Roan Metals urges you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. A member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Roan Metals Group. Turn that scrap into cash.
Reno Sporting Goods, your first choice for sports equipment. On the court, on the field, or in the stands, Reno's has the brand names you want. All the latest from Adidas, Under Armour, and more. From custom embroidery to screen printing, it's all about the game. For over 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods.
And speaking of baseball, in high school, Carnes beats Clinton 8-0. Powell 13, Campbell County 0. Oak Ridge over Central 1-0. Oliver Springs over Oakdale 10-1. Harriman beats Wartburg 14-3. And Rockwood beats Cofield 8-2. I think Rockwood is right now ranked number 5 in the state in single A. You get all those initials out of these single A in spring, and exactly what we thought. You got a good chance. Softball, Anderson County over Central 13-1 and 19-1. Kingston over Meigs County 1-0. So baseball, softball season with all this rain, a lot of rain outs, but
I'm sure there has been. We need the rain. We ain't had enough.
We need some sunshine, don't we? I'd just like to see some
I wish
sunshine.
I just wish the weather would change, where it was a little warmer. I'm tired of cold weather.
We need some.
That needs to get
we
over
need some
with.
sunshine. NCAA basketball tournament. Wow, wow, wow! It's a nice. It's been fun. It's been fun to watch it.
Yeah, you didn't know. You really didn't know who the next team was to go down or who was going to pull something off. And
You know, Loyola comes over Tennessee and wins that ball game and just continues to go.
you know, and that's a game that you really want to go back and think, man, if Tennessee wins that game, are they sitting today in the Final Four? Could they be in the Final Four? Coulda, woulda, shoulda. That's all you
Could
can
have
say.
been, but I don't know. But what a fun run for Loyola.
Well, it's been big for them. And you talk about what's done for that school. I mean, the apparel, they've started making apparel that's to sell and going to the athletics. So it's been big. But
Well, we were in Chicago last weekend, or not last weekend, last week, and just even before they got to the 16 or the 8 and the 4.
you got the two,
it's there.
and you
It's
got
there.
you got Loyola being the team that's probably the no-name team that's there. Michigan, Villanova, and Kansas. I guess you could say Michigan might be a little bit of a surprise, but that's a team that's a national ranked team sometime. Or
Nice
most of the time.
coaching job, though.
Yeah. But Villanova and Kansas, two #1 seeds that are looking out. Like I said, I tell everybody every year, take Kansas. I just like Bill Self as a coach, period, but that's a good setup. I hope Kansas wins that game. And I really hope it's Kansas and Loyola. I really do.
The only thing is Self has had a hard time. He's taken some really good Kansas teams and blown it.
He's had a hard time getting out of the Elite Eight.
He has, but I'm saying
The last three.
of those 4 teams, he probably has one of the worst records in tournament play
You're
than
right,
anybody.
he does. The last 3 years, he's got eliminated
Yeah.
in the Elite Eight. Last year, Duke eliminated him. This year, he finally got over the hump, but the last 3 years, he's been eliminated.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in his tenure there, he's only won 1 national championship. When
He's
you
been
really
loaded.
look at it, there's a couple times, there's at least 2 or 3 more that he should have won.
Yeah,
I don't know if last
and a lot of
year's-
those big teams, he got out maybe in the second round
Yeah, he
or the
did.
3rd round.
I don't know if his last year team wasn't better than what he's got this year. I just like the way he coaches. There's just something about him that I like. That would have been a person I'd love to have seen come to Tennessee, knowing it's not going to happen. Why would you leave Kansas? But he's just that type of coach that I like.
Well, it's been a fun tournament because we have had so many upsets. First time ever for a 16 seed. What fun that was to watch. I mean, that thing just kept getting worse and worse and worse as that game
Listen,
went
that's
on.
a whipping.
I mean,
They took him out in the backyard and
they
whipped
could've-
him.
that was like one of those commercials, off the rafter, off the other backboard. I mean, they were
couldn't
just going
miss
in,
a shot.
just going in.
They couldn't miss one.
And the other thing that's impressed me is when you look at these teams, the 3-point shooting. Have you ever seen such hot shooting? I mean, that corner shot that when they used to say that was the hardest shot in basketball. Wow, they make it look easy as pie. In fact, that's usually where the kickout man is, right?
Yep. 3-point shot has changed the game. It has changed the game. I've been trying to keep up. 'Cause I know you've been on me about the 4-quarter thing, and I told you about the NIT, and I've tried to find out what the deal is while they're experimenting with it and looking at it. And the best I can figure out, it's supposed to increase a faster play. And why it would make it any faster, I don't know. And make
Well, it opens up the lane.
and it opens up.
So the lane is wider. So
Y'all talking about the quarters?
okay,
Playing
the quarters.
4 quarters.
Okay.
It's faster
Well,
play.
yeah, less timeouts.
Less timeout. It's faster play. Less timeout. It's supposed to be higher scoring games.
That's what I'm
more
saying. The
interesting.
scoring is because the lane is so wide now. You can't just hide in the lane.
You know, you
there.
can't hide in the lane. So there's a lot of they've made
And don't
some
they play
change-
20-minute or 20-second shot clocks?
I don't know if they put the 22nd on them or not. I know they went to the 4-quarter. I heard them trying to explain it the other night, and I only caught part of it, but trying to figure out why they're doing it. But now you wasn't here last week, and you might not be ready to talk about it. But what about our girl Holly Warwick?
Well, it's funny you should mention that. She's got 3 players playing in the McDonald's All-American game tonight.
But now, let me ask you a question. I heard a lot of people take up for it. You wasn't here, and I don't know if you watched me and E.T. There were some players came out in her defense, okay?
One of which was one of the girls playing tonight.
Well, she did too, but this is a former, Abby Coughlin, I believe is her name, came out, and then some other girls signed on with her, talking about that it's not Holly's fault, it's the kids' fault.
Morsaniak.
Morsaniak did that too, I think. Anyway, they came out. And here's a question I asked E.T., and I asked you the same question. Holly Warwick gets hired as the coach. Okay, that you hired, she's hired. So you allow her to go out and how many staff members she can have, she goes out and hires her staff. And all of her support personnel, she gets all that done. Then they all get together and they decide, or she decides, or she should be, this is what type of girls we want. So let's go recruit these type of girls. Then she gets with her staff and says, this is how we're going to play, this is how I want to play, this is what we're going to do defensively and everything. And then the coaches relay it out. I don't think she can coach. I don't think she can relay it from her. I don't think her game plan's right. So that's why she's not right for the job. So they're saying that Phillip Fulmer is only going to give her a year's extension with no change in guaranteed money, no change in nothing. They're only doing that. They're only doing that for recruiting purposes. Because if they left her as a lame duck with 13 months or less than 13 months, now 12 probably, that's all she's got left on her contract, then she would pretty much not be able to recruit. Why makes anybody think because she's getting 3 more All-Americans when she already had 4 that's there now, she's going to be less in size-wise than what she is. She's losing 2 pretty good players, one that they feel like that she never did get up to par to reach her potential. So what makes everybody think now because we're going to have 4 sophomores and 3 freshmen that we're going to be any better? I really don't think it's going to be any better. It's all about coaching.
Now, you sit here for years and you've talked about how Phillip Fulmer ran the program in the ground with recruiting.
I think he did.
Okay.
I don't think he ran it in the ground. I don't think he ran it in the ground at first. Okay. I think after he won the national championship, maybe I used the wrong word.
It's a fair statement.
But I'll take your fair statement. Maybe he got a little lax.
Okay, so let's
same thing.
Okay,
maybe.
so let's go back and look. The last 3 to 4 years that Pat Summitt was
agree
at
with you. Totally.
And the thing that really sticks out in my mind is a couple of those years, she only brought in like 2 kids or 3 kids.
And
now when she's gone,
well, I got a defense for that. I don't think, and I'm going to use it, and you can say whatever you want to say. I think she was sick and nobody knew it, and I don't even think she knew it. Well, I think some of it you gotta. Now that we know what the illness that I know it's 5 years, man. It's 5 years.
And the other thing is, Pat Summitt was there was only Pat Summitt, Connecticut, Stanford, Baylor every now and then. There weren't a lot of programs like there are now.
Well, we shouldn't be getting beat by Oregon State.
Oregon State's in the Final Four, aren't they?
We shouldn't
get beat.
They got beat.
Okay.
They're beat. They're out. That's Oregon. We shouldn't be getting beat by Alabama. We shouldn't lose to Mississippi State, even though
Mississippi State's last 3 or 4 years.
I understand.
He's pretty tough.
We shouldn't be losing Texas
He's pretty
A&M.
tough.
There's back in the day. You're right. It was Stanford, Connecticut a little bit starting out. They were just starting. Texas. People like that. Notre Dame's came on strong recently. They're up and down. There's not anybody left in the Final Four that I think can beat Stanford right now. That's a shame.
Connecticut.
Yeah. I said Stanford. I'm sorry.
Well,
now here I got a good friend.
But wait just a minute now. I want to just complete that thought.
About Fulmer.
No.
Well, you said I said he run off.
Well, but I'm saying I was just making that analogy with Pat. Is that how effective would Pat be now? That's another question.
Well,
the other question is, Holly is what Holly seems to have problems with is when the game starts, and I'm not sure if that's because of assistants not being able to relay. We need to do this. We need to what it is, But there's something wrong when the game starts. I mean, how many times have they had big leads only to lose them? How many times in ball games have they missed 6 or 8 point-blank layups to lose a game?
19 in one game.
Now, I agree with you. I think she had a great year recruiting this year, had some good games with her freshmen, but they're freshmen. She's going to have a great recruiting class next year. Now, it's time to put the two groups together with what she had before and make a run. Now, I'm not saying she has to win it, but I'm saying she needs. There's no excuse. There's no excuse, and maybe they're saying that Oregon State was overrated. Maybe they were a higher seed. They should have been a higher seed, but still. You don't lose the pairing at home that's tailor-made for you to get.
That's exactly right.
To the Sweet 16.
It's like I got a good friend that finally told me I no longer will take up for her and try to defend her like I have.
I think that's probably a lot of people. I think they're probably going to start seeing the stands. I mean, you know, they've been drawing 8,000 people even when things weren't going well. I think probably there were a lot of folks left after the Oregon State game that said, I may come back for a couple big games, but I'll not be here like I have been.
So I think what ought to happen is they ought to just let her pair.
Well, I think just let her, because she has done what a lot of people couldn't have done, and that's follow Pat Summitt. She has done a pretty good job.
I don't think she's done a good job the last 3 years, though.
Well, what I'm saying is
she's
done a nice job of taking Pat Summitt's place and keeping the program at least alive.
I can agree to that. But I've been barking since day one that she's not done a very good job.
And you have.
So I mean, I'm not saying that I know a whole lot about it, other than the fact I just think you got to look at it, and you just helped sell my case. She's not able to make in-game adjustments. I don't think she knows how.
Well, somebody, she either needs to make some adjustments on her coaching staff.
But look at her coaching staff. Look how much her coaching staff has changed every year in the last 3 or 4 years. The only mainstay there really is Dean Lockwood. Look at that coaching staff, that the coaches have come in. It's been like a carousel, going in and out. Why is it going? There's some problems.
There's a problem.
There's some problems somewhere. There's a reason. So, you know, she's recruiting at a high level.
I agree that it's hard to make excuses for her anymore. It's time to start getting to the.
And see, I don't think we can compare her to Phillip Fulmer the way I would look at Fulmer.
Well, I'm not saying her. What I was saying was I think Pat Summitt left the program in the same shape that he
did. But I think there's an excuse.
Well, and there may be. I'm just saying.
I'm going to give her. I'm going to give her an excuse. I'm going to say there's an excuse. But here's what. But the difference between her and Fulmer was she's recruiting, and Fulmer sort of got on his laurels and didn't recruit. I think that's what cost him his job.
I don't think Pat did during the last.
But probably not.
For whatever reason.
For whatever reason, she probably didn't.
You're on the air.
Ron Berry, David Queener, arguing as usual.
Yeah.
How are you, my man?
Ron, seriously, David don't have to listen. Pull your plug out of your ear, David. I want to thank you, Ron, for that Starbucks drink that you give me every time I fill in for you. I really appreciate that.
Well, that's all right, and the gift cards will keep coming.
Listen, let me throw this in the conversation you guys are having. Yes, the attendance was the worst it's been, 8,000 for like 23 years. 3 of her girls for next year is playing in the McDonald's All-American game tonight. Now, I don't know how they're doing, but obviously they're asked to that game, so that's a very highly talented bunch, along with the group that she had this year. All right, if you know contracts, David and Ron, if they do not give her a raise or an extension, let's say, and next year will be her last year on that, and then they let her go, is she due a buyout? Do you know that?
No, she's not.
I mean, she would be fulfilling her contract.
From what I understand, they're going to give her a 1-year extension with no salary increase or they're not changing anything in a payout plan or anything.
Oh, that's okay. So
that's what they're saying.
Is that the writing on the wall?
That's what they're reporting.
And you know, E.T., I really believe she probably, and most times when a coach comes out and gets frustrated post game like she did, I would guess that if she gets another this recruiting class that comes in next year, and she can't pull it off, I'm going to give her credit. I'm going to say she probably resigns. They don't have to do anything.
2 or 3 names, David, you would like to see in there. I know the girl from Oak Ridge, you like her.
Yeah, I do.
I'm going to Mississippi State.
Yeah, I'm going to there or Louisville.
No, I'm going to Mississippi State.
But I tell you who I think will be the guy. There's a guy I think that'll get the job. He's not done a bad job at Kentucky, but that guy coached down here some and was in on the pro. I think the Mitchell guy at Kentucky would probably be a candidate, probably.
I think I think there's 19 other women coaches making more than she is right now. This next coach, will they open the checkbook up a little bit more?
Probably have to. There's some Lady Vol coaches out here that's doing fairly well, too, that's coming up the ranks, too, that are doing pretty good. So there's no telling who they'll get. But, yeah, they'll probably have to pay a little bit more.
But I think, E.T., you still have to give her credit for coming in and stabilizing a program after Pat Summitt. Not many people could do that.
Oh, totally. Who would want that? Of course, she's from Bearden, loves the school, and that's where she wants to be. But that's a tough job to cover, and she looks like she's stumped her toe a little bit. Looks like a great hire for the baseball team. He swept Alabama. It looks like a good hire so far. Of course, season gets on a little bit more. And at girls softball in high school, I noticed a series of about 10 scores of 10 different games last night, and the scores are way up there. Pitching must be outstanding with girls softball this year, because out of those 6 or 7 games I heard the results, there's only like 4 runs scored, and everybody was scoring double digits. So it's like pitching's pretty good in our local softball. Let you guys go, and he's doing a good job again, Ron. Thank you. Brett, Starbucks is out of sight. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, my man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you filling in.
You paid him to call in. Ain't no way around.
It's always good to hear from him. Always good to hear from him.
Yeah, it's really good to hear from him.
Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
In downtown Rockwood is your gift destination. Shop the new plush selection for that special someone. We have Bath & Body Works popular fragrances and custom gift baskets too. Live and Let Live has a wide selection of gift and home decor for any occasion, from yard flags to selected jewelry, plus much more. We have Big Orange giftware always available year-round. And don't forget to enjoy a soda fountain treat while you shop. Live and Let Live Drugstore, Gift Shop, and Soda Fountain in downtown Rockwood.
All right, crew, let's get started. Kurt?
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
In today's world, you don't stay in business long without providing exceptional customer service. The Duff family has been providing exceptional customer service for over 44 years. Our customers rate us highly, as shown by the fact we're the only dealer in Tennessee to have earned the Subaru Stellar Care Award for customer satisfaction 6 years in a row. Check our online reviews or ask your friends. They'll tell you to come to Earl Duff Subaru, where buying is a pleasure.
During the Subaru A Lot to Love event, choose 0% financing on all new 18 Outback models at Earl Duff Subaru in Harriman.
Mulch & More in Midtown is your landscaping headquarters. Mulch & More offers mulch, the best topsoil in the area. All types of gravel, sand, pea gravel, either loose or in bags, creek rock, river rock, field stone, mountain mist stone, railroad cross ties, straw bales, fence posts, farm gates, and much more. Mulch & More offers backhoe and dump truck service. And Mulch & More can also demolish a house or building on your property, and they'll haul it off for you. Give Gary a call today at 865-740-5229 for Mulch & More in Midtown.
I'm Scott Burton, and I'm running for Ranger County trustee. When it comes to our tax dollars, we need to trust the person managing those dollars. As Clinton's mayor, I've led with conservative fiscal principles. In 7 years, we've cut our debt from over $13 million down to $7, with a clear path to being debt-free in less than 8 years. I've proven I treat tax dollars like I would my own. Please vote for me, Scott Burton, in the Republican primary on May 1st.
Roan Metals Group has been serving East Tennessee for decades. Locally owned and operated with convenient hours of operation. Roan Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing's too big or too small. Still have that clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Roan Metals Group are specialists in industrial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Roan Metals urges you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. A member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Roan Metals Group. Turn that scrap into cash.
Reno Sporting Goods, your first choice for sports equipment. On the court, on the field, or in the stands, Reno's has the brand names you want. All the latest from Adidas, Under Armour, and more. From custom embroidery to screen printing, it's all about the game. For over 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods.
Welcome back to the locker room. And again, thoughts and prayers are with Marty Mastin's family as we lost him this week. So here at Channel 12, it's been a rough one, but like we said before, David, Mike and Marty now are arguing about some football
Arguing about
score,
something,
UT
probably.
football or something. So, ET mentioned UT baseball, and it's been a nice start for them, winning some midweek games and sweeping Alabama.
It's the first time I think they've won a series, and I heard them say it's been a while.
And conversely, the first time that the ladies on the softball diamond have lost a series since 16.
Yeah, they were 30-something and won, and then wound left losing 3 to South Carolina, I believe, and got swept.
Something on a little different there. And we touched on the NCAA basketball game. And you like Kansas?
Mm-hmm. I do. I like Kansas.
I believe I'm going to take Villanova. I think they have good guard play. They've been number one for some time this year. I think so they're field tested. But the player that I really like is Spellman. Man, he's put it together, hasn't he?
Yep.
He's put it together.
On that side, that ought to be well, I think both games will be a really good games. I really do. But on that side of the bracket with Villanova and Kansas, that's 2 number 1 seeds, so we ought to get an excellent ball game.
And I believe that's where the championship will come from.
I would probably agree with you on that. That's probably where it comes from. But though I tell you, the way this tournament's went, though, Ron, I don't know that nothing can be put in ink and dry, because, you know, I wouldn't be shocked Saturday evening if Loyola didn't pull the upset off. I don't know that it'd be an upset. I wouldn't be shocked if we're not in the final 2 that Monday night.
That's a 3-11 matchup?
Yeah, I believe that's correct, 3-11. I wouldn't be shocked if that didn't happen, and I wouldn't be shocked on Monday night in the national championship game if Loyola didn't win it, just to be honest with you. Could very well happen to just the way this tournament's went.
Well,
anything's possible right now.
It's really interesting how in that scenario, is it Sister Marie?
Or Sister something.
Sister Ann, somebody. She's become the most popular person in the basketball tournament.
Said they got such a demand for her, they're making bobbleheads and selling them. And she wants none of the money. She wants it all to go to the athletic department. All to the athletic department. I think she's 98, maybe.
She's 90-something.
I thought she said 98, maybe.
But it's just fun. And what's fun is to watch all those guys go over after the game.
So I was watching. Yeah, that is right. You're correct about that. I was watching ESPN the other day, and there was a lady. That's 100.
Right.
That's a Michigan. You said Jalen Rose, his grandmother.
Heard that. She was going to try to outdo her.
She said she's dressed up in her Michigan gear. She said, not so fast. Whatever she said, they'll win. So I thought it was pretty funny. You got 2 people going back. One's 100 and one's 98. You got them barking back and forth at each other, sort of. it's funny how
Maybe-
basketball.
Maybe they ought to meet them at half court.
They might meet them at half court, let them meet. I think it'd be a neat thing to let them meet. That just goes to show you how much March Madness, how the people are really involved in it to get in there.
I haven't seen any figures on what each team got getting into the tournament, but I know it's probably close to $350,000, $400,000 just to get in, because the teams from these lower conferences, they probably pay their whole budget just by getting in the
Well,
tournament.
Loyola, I don't know if the further you go, the more money you get.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
you're getting shares. You're getting shares.
So I'm sure this really helps their athletic budget out big time. So
not only that, recruiting and like you said, merchandise and I thought it was interesting the other night there they showed and showed the campus where all the kids were watching it on the big screen and the announcer said, I don't know if y'all know it yet or not, but you're off Monday and Tuesday and it's just neat. It's just a fun atmosphere, and crazy and wild things happen, and shots go in that should never have a chance of going in, and
it's good to see the underdog prevail every now and then. That's what makes sport.
That's what we all like.
That's what we all like.
That's
That's who you root for.
Sure, yeah.
That's who you root for sometimes.
But,
I agree with you.
But it'll be interesting. Major League Baseball getting cranked up. We talked about that a little bit off the air. And is this the year the Braves make some kind of a comeback? Probably not.
Everybody's talking about the Cubs, man. They say the Cubs are the team. They say the Cubs are the one. I guess with their pitching staff maybe and some play. I don't know. That's just the talk. Well, you probably can't. I wouldn't count them out, but I wouldn't count. There's some other teams I probably wouldn't count out neither. But they say this is the year for the Cubs again to make another pennant run.
Well, so they've got they've got construction going on up at Wrigley there. Addison Avenue is, it's tore up. They're building a big hotel there on site. Used to have a McDonald's across the street, and it's gone. So they're going to have a problem this year. If this is the year for the Cubs, it'll be a horrible year to go up and go try to fight through that stuff.
So it's a year. It's all they've been preaching on ESPN. This is the year. This is the year. So it's going to be interesting. We'll see. It's always exciting. I like the Cubs.
On the ladies' basketball Final Four, who you like? That's unbelievable run, isn't it?
It's probably something that I will not watch.
Incredible run, and I hadn't paid much attention. When did they play? Friday night? Did I read somewhere where they played Friday night?
I think that's right. Friday and Sunday, maybe.
Friday and Sunday, and men are Saturday and Monday.
Mm-hmm. I believe that's right.
And we've gotten somebody now that's broken Pat Summitt's all-time winning record. So
yep, he has. On NCAA stuff, I think, or something. He broke that. Yep.
And Gino's not far behind.
I think Gino's the one done it.
No, Krzyzewski did it.
Oh yeah, but Gino broke something else that she done too. I think he's either tied her or broke it or
Final
something.
Fours probably.
Maybe or something. I think I heard so. But yes,
but he's
Duke
closing
coach.
in. When you start winning 36 a year, it doesn't take long, does it?
If I heard it right today, and I didn't catch it all because I was getting in and out of the vehicle, and I didn't catch it all this afternoon. I thought they was talking about one of Duke's players, the one that's already declared to go to the NBA. And they said it sort of flew under the radar. Not too many people had reported it. Apparently, he declares one day, and the next day purchases a house in California. They said for $750,000.
Well, he could have purchased that on his bonus money.
What bonus money? He's in the college.
Well, I'm saying a lot of times when these guys come out in April, or whenever January, and these agents know that they're going to be worth so much money, they got a good line of credit.
Well, they was talking about it today. I didn't really catch the name.
Got a good line of credit.
I'm not going to say the name, because I don't. I thought
freshman.
It was. He's a freshman.
Yeah, the big kid.
Yeah, and I can't think of his name, but so it was him. I reckon who they were talking about. They sort of flew under the radar.
So were they thinking there was some?
You have to ask them. Don't ask me.
No, a lot of times I just know they'll buy vehicles and stuff based on their draft.
Well, he's supposed to be a high potential
So,
draft
you know,
pick.
they
so.
probably know he's going to be. They probably know he's going to be worth $7, $8, $9 million next year.
Yep.
So.
I reckon he purchased a house about $750.
Oh,
So
that'll be peanuts. That's a beginner house. That's a starter house.
That's a starter house, ain't it? So anyway.
Yeah, that's a starter house. But on the ladies' side, Mississippi State's made in fact, Mississippi State broke Connecticut's 111 game winning streak last year, right?
Yeah, and I know Mississippi State, Notre Dame, Connecticut, and I do not know who the fourth team is. I cannot remember.
Notre Dame.
No, Notre Dame, Connecticut, and Mississippi
okay.
State. There's a fourth team. I cannot tell you who that fourth team is.
And Mississippi State plays them, right? Because I think Notre Dame and Connecticut play.
I can't tell you who the fourth. I can tell you three of the four. I can't tell you the fourth one. I don't know who it is. So. Anyway.
Because they all had pretty good records.
Yeah, they did. I mean, Mississippi State's like what 35-1 or 34. There's some 30.
I think they had 2 losses. Notre Dame maybe had 3 losses, and the mystery team.
I don't remember who that is. So I think it comes down to because Notre Dame plays Connecticut, Mississippi State plays whoever. So I think it comes down to a
rematch.
A rematch, and man, I can't.
Is it Oregon?
It might be Oregon. I can't remember who it is. I can't remember. I don't remember. But anyway, it's coming. It'll come down. I think it'll come down. I think the finals will be Mississippi State and Connecticut. I would think Connecticut wins it by 20 or better.
What NASCAR circuit? What's happening there?
It's rolling right along. A bunch of different. Well, I say not a bunch of different winners, but it's doing pretty.
Is something happening in NASCAR? I mean, you don't. It just doesn't feel like there's the attention from NASCAR that enthusiasm that you normally get.
I think the racing's a little bit better. I don't know about that part of it, but I don't know if it's. There's a big transition going on right now. There's a lot of young kids in it that's coming up with some young talent. They've had trouble with viewership.
A lot of second generation drivers.
Yes, a lot of second generation. Bill Elliott's son's in it. I mean, there's a lot. You can go name like Rick Hendrick. 3 out of his 4 drivers are really young kids that are really going to be good. But it's like NASCAR's just barely hanging on right now. I mean, it's not.
Well, it just doesn't. Like I say, it just doesn't feel like it always has.
Well, it's not even. That's been to me. That's been that way for a while. The racing got boring, and as it got boring, people left, and then they just not came back. They're trying to get the younger generation in it. Well, the younger generation, there's nothing going on. Who wants to sit for 2 hours and watch 30-some cars follow around and around and around and around and around? That's not any fun.
Well, and the young generation's not going to pay the ticket prices.
That's true. They're outrageous. And not only that, they're outrageous. Then not only that, then if you got to go somewhere and stay, then the hotel motels, they triple, double everything. The restaurants double everything. Gas goes up. I know it happens in Daytona every year. You can see it happen every year. There's not a 3-night minimum, and there's a 6-night minimum. You don't mind spending 6 nights in Daytona. But you ain't going to spend 6 nights up in Bristol. Or Darlington or any place else.
Are those tracks still drawing a lot of people?
Yeah, Daytona was a sellout this year.
I mean,
no, some of them they're not. Like at Charlotte, they took all the seats in the turn. Let's see, 1, 2. They took all the seats on what I'll call the back side. They took all the seats out. Took them out. Just got rid of them. A whole section, a big glob of seats.
How about Richmond?
Richmond's remodeling right now, so Richmond's still a pretty good track. But look at Bristol. Used to be the hardest place in the world to get a ticket to. Now I think you can walk up and get a ticket. Seats over 100,000 people. So we'll see as we're coming to some of those tracks. We'll see what I know. Well, Martinsville, you can't really talk about Martinsville. It was a rain out, so comparing the crowd there when they're racing on Monday, you can't really compare it. But they've done some things aero-wise to the cars that's made it a little bit better, and I think it's going to be. It's still NASCAR. They're still cheating when they cheat.
Are they cutting the speeds down, or are they?
Try to a little bit. Especially those big tracks, they got to watch them. They don't want them to get in the air. They get in the air real easy. And when they get in the air, you don't know where they're going.
Yeah, there's been some close calls.
Oh, yes, most definitely.
Let's see who we got here.
Louisville's the 4th team in.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, Louisville.
You're on the air.
Hey, Ron. Hey, I mean, Ben.
Yes.
You in the Queener? This Triple D, brother.
Triple D. How you doing, Triple D?
Hey, I'm too blessed to be depressed, my man. Too blessed to be stressed. Too anointed to be disappointed. So I should be doing fantastic, that good man.
Flying high.
Yeah, you better believe it. Fly high with Jesus. Hey, my man, I want to send my condolences on. I don't know Brad, but I understand he has some affiliation with y'all show. And I want to send my condolences to his family. And,
yeah, that was Marty Maston, Brad's cousin.
Oh, Brad Cook.
Yeah.
Well, I want to send my condolences to him. I don't know him, but I hear y'all talk about him. He's on that show. He had that show there.
Yeah, he was a good young man and full of athletic statistics and knowledge.
Yeah, he's the one I talked to. I think several times on that, didn't I? Last year.
No.
He never was on the air.
He had been in a couple of years.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I want to send my condolences. It's bigger things in life. I know we talk sports and X's and O's and who we predict and who we like and everything like that, but when it come down in life, it ain't nothing like it, because nobody in life likes to lose a loved one. I see it all the time. Nobody in life likes to lose a loved one, whether she's 100 or she's 20.
Right on, brother.
And at any age or stage, you don't want to see them gone. You want to see them live long as they can live. And I pray for him and his family. And like I sad to hear that. I heard that on the Channel 12 news the other day.
Yes.
And I'm gonna leave it at that. But I'm gonna continue to pray for him and his wife and his family. I mean, Brad, and I know God will fix anything, because he done fixed it for me. I sit here sometimes, and I lost my mother in 2004, 75 years old, and she would have been 89 the 10th of this past January. And I still sit here and cry big crocodile tears because she's gone. But within a 2-minute time frame, the good Lord, you ain't never got a tear bigger than his handkerchief.
That's right.
And he dries my tears up within 2 minutes. That's the truth. Because he's confident. And I'm going to send my condolences once again to Brad and his family.
Appreciate
it. This weekend, I'm getting to basketball. I have to go with the Michigan Wolverines. And one reason, because that coach, I've always been impressed with him. He a pretty good. Now, you talking about an X and O coach. He is an X and O man. And, of course, I like Loyola. They all right, but I just think they go up against a better coach. And when you up against a better coach, whether it's a football, basketball, baseball, or whatever, that better coach usually prevails. Of course, Kansas all right. I never thought to see a time I'd be pulling for Duke, but I like Krzyzewski because what he stands for. He's an excellent. You talking about defensive minded man. He didn't win a lot of them championships because he didn't know what he's doing when it comes. He's a Bobby Knight disciple.
That was probably the most undisciplined team though that I've seen the other day in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, Grayson Allen. He was trying to be a hero. He should have thrown the ball into their big man. He the one been carrying them all the season. What's that big man? Now he probably go pro this year. They didn't go to him the last 3 or 4 minutes. That game should have been over with. It shouldn't have never went to overtime.
Yeah, I thought Duke had them on the ropes and
they did have them.
And
they had them.
They
had them.
And
they took out the ball. Kansas come down and shot blanks for about 3 or 4 times.
That was undisciplined as I've seen a Duke team.
Oh yeah, I guarantee you, you'll never see. Grayson Allen, if he'd have dumped the ball inside, they had to play. If he wouldn't try to be the hero, of course, Chechesky put up with it because that's it, he's senior and he had made some good plays, but he wasn't on his game like he normally be. But I think if they had dumped that ball in Kansas, Duke center had fouled Kansas best player. I mean, for the big man.
Allen didn't hit a 3-pointer all game, did he?
No, he hit one. He hit one.
And that was at the
I
end.
recall.
That was at the end.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's why I say he was out of his game, and normally he plays pretty good, but he made some few bonehead plays. I like to see Duke beat Kansas.
But he didn't shoot the ball well the game before either.
No, he didn't. He kind of goofed up right there. Allen, if you know a little history about it, he had a knack for being hot-headed.
Hot-headed, you're exactly right. Suspended.
I mean, he kind of calmed down a little bit. Of course, I used to didn't like Duke, but I like what Mike Krzyzewski stands for. You can't help but going with a guy like that when he stands for what he does. All that other cheating and all that stuff going on. Look at Patino. Look at these guys. Bobby Knight was hot-headed, and it led to his demise. I like Krzyzewski, and he got a guy coming in there next year they better look out for. That big guy, that guy they signed, supposed to be he's supposed to be the number 3 as the top prospects in the nation.
Yeah.
He's coming to Duke. And so, Krzyzewski, I think he just lived with old Grayson Allen, but he had to drop that ball in that guy the first 3 minutes of end of that game before that overtime. They would have won that game.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let y'all go, Queener, and my man, I'm Barry. And y'all have a blessed night and a blessed rest of the show. And tell my man, the Triple D said he's praying for it.
Okay, buddy.
Well, good, buddy.
Appreciate it.
All right, then. God bless y'all, and have a blessed night.
Yeah, I thought I thought Duke coming down the stretch really got away from everything that he does in coaching. Not just Allen. There was the other guard coming down and threw up a couple of hootenannies too. When like he said, nobody should have touched the ball but the big man underneath.
Trotter went.
You had 2 guys in foul trouble from Kansas. One had already fouled out, another one with 4 fouls. And in fact, that was probably one of the better coaching jobs when Self yanked him, the old guy with 4 fouls, and he was just standing flat-footed, letting the guy dunk it on him. And and the announcer said told him in the timeout, said, "I don't care if you foul out. Dude, if you foul out, at least you're going to be doing something.
Yeah.
You stand there, let him dunk point blank. That's not helping us.
Not a bit.
But it'll be fun and interesting to watch it for pretty much 4 teams that like to play the same kind of game.
You're pretty close.
And
Pretty
it
close.
really probably comes down to which team. Like I say, Michigan went to about 3 minutes the other day without scoring.
The only team that's really not done that's Loyola. They've not had that big.
It's gonna. That's probably what it's gonna. Foul trouble and teams that can stay hot the whole game.
When we meet back here next Wednesday, Kansas will be the national champions. That's all I got to say. I'll leave it at that. Yeah. If you're smart,
You're that confident. Huh?
If you're smart, you'll say you're probably right, David, and we'll see you next week.
Well, I don't know about telling you you're probably right.
Oh, you don't want to tell me that I'm right, but you know I'm right.
Well, there's a lot of there's
Kansas.
There's some teams that can.
I'll probably have to eat crow when I come in here next Wednesday night. It'll probably be whoever.
I mean, like I say, I think Kansas has got the player to do it with.
I sat in the recliner Sunday and watched that game just thinking, okay, this is going to be like it's been the last 3 years. We'll lose right here. And I really thought that for much of the game. Till about the last little bit of overtime, I thought that. So we'll see.
We'll see. Well, guys, get out and support your baseball and softball, tennis, spring sports, and have a great week. We'll see you right back here next week.
Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood is the premier pharmacy service location. Let our professional staff help with all your pharmacy needs, answer your questions, or help with your medication management with our Medicine on Time packaging system. We also offer medication therapy management to ensure you're receiving maximum benefits from your medication. Diabetes care is available with one-on-one consultations, or you can attend one of our monthly diabetes information classes. Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood.